apparently, the CEO of Tumblr has been having a public meltdown for like 2 weeks about trans people or trans issues. My limited understanding of this issue, very limited, okay? I'm gesturing out here. I'm blind. I'm vaguely reaching out in the direction of a point. Is that Tumblr has been deleting posts or banning people for doing transition timelines, like fully clothed pictures of like, here I was before transitioning, here I am after transitioning, like saying it's like a TOS or something, but it's like objectively not TOS. And as a consequence of that, there's been some beefing with trans people and the CEO, and he's been responding and like misgendering people or something like that. Like the CEO called trans people it. How are you going to be transphobic as the CEO of Tumblr? It's funny. It's like Elon Musk opened the gates on why did my light just change? Get back, ye. Not that ye. Isn't Tumblr's user base mostly trans and queer people? I assume. It's pretty funny. Okay, let's see. Users have raised concerns. KnowYourMeme.com. We're linking to Know Your Meme. Okay, well, what does this link to? Is this really a Know Your Meme kind of post? I guess Know Your Meme has everything, including, wow, what's that on the sidebar? At least they got a good picture of me. They cover anything viral? Well, look at me right next to Drake. How far I've come, huh? Had to grind for this view. The view being top entries this month on KnowYourMeme.com. Thank you. Tumblr CEO transphobic moderation controversy. So yeah, explain. Okay. Criticism, WordPress, Tumblr CEO. Matt Mullenweg, whose online handle is PhotoMatt, for banning the Tumblr account Predstrogen, and according to some users, for allegedly encouraging content moderation with an anti-trans tilt on the website. Neat. So, Trans Mortified posted that they got a belly button piercing. Nice. After careful review, we've determined your post is considered adult under community guidelines. Okay. That seems unlikely. All right. And now they killed my blog, you f***ers. RB, are you serious? God, I'm sorry. On February 20th, CEO Matt Mullenweg posted a series of responses to questions about content moderation practices on Tumblr, notably stating he was addressing it due to mass misinformation. Whoa! Good Lord. Let me open this up. Is it one image or is it a bunch of images? Oh, it's all separate images. That's so annoying. Well, I suppose I can still read it just fine. I don't know if people are like watching on their phones. Are you going to do anything or make a statement about the rampant trans misogyny on this hell site, especially in cases like Predstrogen recently? Or are you going to stay silent and keep letting/making us get pushed off for this? Okay. And then a response from the CEO. Why do we wrongly have a transphobe reputation? We did have an external contract moderator last year that was making transphobic moderation and also selling moderation criminally. As soon as we found that out, we fired them, later terminated the relationship at great cost, In Predstrogen's case, in addition to some mistagged sexually explicit posts, which on its own wouldn't be that bad, we have documented cases of harassment against other users. Most importantly, and why she is banned from Tumblr for life, is she made threats of violence against Tumblr staff. Okay? That is never okay. Threats of violence is not protected speech. We will work with police and FBI where appropriate. Okay? And then it has right down here the post being referred to from Predstrogen. I hope PhotoMatt dies forever, a painful death involving a car covered in hammers that explodes more than a few times and the hammers go flying everywhere. Wow. Holy shit. That is so lame. That's a Tumblr post right there if I ever saw one. A Twitter version of this post would have been a lot snappier. A car covered in hammers and okay, obviously not a death threat, whatever. 2 hours later update, I've changed instances of the pronoun they or their to the account because I am unaware of pronoun preference in this instance and don't want to misgender anyone. Well, that's nice. Tens of thousands of trans women say, why would our accused be transphobia? Just be applied to this one user. In the post, Matt denied that Tumblr has an anti-trans bias. There was that post right there. Literally too much for Tumblr to handle. Oh, and PhotoMatt followed them to Twitter. When will you be honest with your followers that the repeated adult content violation... Dude, holy shit. The CEO of a social media company following somebody to another social media site after they were banned from their social media site to continue. Incredibly strong posting behavior. We love poster CEOs. that the repeated adult content violations were not pictures like this, but likely ones in your other accounts. Actual names: Irish Big Cock Girl, Burger Foot Job, Furry Vor Burps, Breadstrogen, Cum Burp, Dog Girl Ball Sack, Hung Queen, Big Titty Cock GF, Big Cock Titty GF, Girl Taint, Musk Mommy, Girl Ball Sack, Shower Sharts, Sapiosexual Breeder, Cat Girl Hairball, Cat Girl Condom, Cat Girl Cum Sock, Cat Girl Ball Sack, Cum Spangler. Did this one user really get all of those usernames on Tumblr? There's no way one person could get that many iconic names, right? There's no way. A man worth $400 million followed me to another website to publicly out me as owner of Tumblr username Shower Sharts on my selfies over internet drama when he banned me 3 times in a week and mentioned calling the cops. Incredible. For the record, half of these were blanks and just funny URLs I had on a side blog in case I wanted to change to it. Even then, the man said I was banned for harassment, not sexual content. He's backtracking and seeking me out. Avoe and Cyper Durone broke no rules either. Okay. So yeah, I don't, obviously I'm like learning here. I'm here, I'm learning with you. I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm changing. I'm doing a yes growth. Without knowing any of the broader context here, the fact that Matt Mullenweg is backtracking and following people site to site as a CEO makes him look pretty fucking bad. He did say in that post where he talked about the ban of this user, in addition to some mistagged sexually explicit posts, which on its own wouldn't be that bad. So for him to then go like, well, you were posting adult content on all of these tags, kind of like, it's like backpedaling, you know? Why does a CEO care about one user? Yeah, it's pretty weird. It's a pretty weird thing to do, I gotta say. He should not do that, even if he was right. Yeah, that's the thing that makes this special. Even if it wasn't for the backtracking, even if the CEO was completely correct, like on anything empirical here, he's still in the wrong because you shouldn't follow people site to site as a CEO. That's really weird to do. Why would you do that, you know? He wanted the Shower Sharts username and he's held a grudge this entire time. True. Very true. You know, extremely weird behavior. I guess, man, Know Your Meme really is a good like drama aggregate site for trying to like get the skinny on shit like this. It almost goes without saying, but for posterity's sake, I want people to remember that during Photomat's meltdown last night, he DM'd dozens and dozens of people, nearly exclusively trans women for some inexplicable reason. What? Is this real? Wait, they replied to the drama on Tumblr, and then Photomat, CEO of Tumblr, DM'd them directly. Not sure the point you're trying to make, that we should continue to serve customers that make threats of violence against staff and harass other users. Yes, I saved screenshot. So this is real. He actually did. This is like full meltdown shit. Even Elon Musk hasn't done anything this psychotic. Can you imagine if Elon started randomly DMing people to go like, I disagree with the point that you've made here, you know? I mean, he does run Tumblr. That's true. Having a meltdown is like very Tumblr-esque. Oh my God, you really are having a meltdown about this, aren't you? This is so... Oh my God. I think that's it for the post. So it's a next generation promo. It's very wacky behavior, I'll say that much. CEOs are a reflection of their businesses, clearly. Yeah, why are Tumblr users complaining that they finally have a CEO who represents their brand? You know? Like, come on. Who would have thought Tumblr CEO would be their own little ultimate Tumblrina? Tumblrina! I haven't heard that term in ages! Tumblrina! I haven't heard that term in so long. That's an old one. Like before I even started my channel, I feel. God damn. That's a term? Yeah, that's like, yeah. That's like a decade old. That's like Gamergate, I feel. Maybe it continued past that, but that's when it was in its heyday, I feel. God, that's wild. Okay, so all of that was just like the catch-up, you know, on the basic drama from Know Your Meme. Does this article on Mashable cover anything in addition to that? Tumblr's history of LGBTQ plus discrimination in moderation. The most significant event was in 2018 when, in an attempt to placate Apple's App Store policies against child pornography, Tumblr leadership applied a sweeping ban on porn across the site. Yeah, everyone says this was pretty much the death knell of Tumblr. I'll never understand why they didn't just ban, like, human nudity, but allow drawings, because I feel like Tumblr existed almost entirely for people to draw, like, like naked, furry, trans AU character versions of Sherlock characters. I don't know. That same leadership had historically allowed consensual adult porn to flourish. Because like Twitter still has porn everywhere, right? They do ban drawn porn. No, that's what I'm saying. The value of Tumblr plummeted after this, which had enabled marginalized communities to find belonging in the more loving, more queer porn that appeared on Tumblr. When that porn was banned, the site weathered a significant drop in users, not surprising. The porn ban also led to an inquiry by New York City's Commission on Human Rights into how the site's moderation practices may have disproportionately affected queer people and users. When Tumblr was sold to Molenweg's company Automatic, yes, Molenweg named the company after himself. Oh shit, yeah. Automatic. By Verizon in 2019, Automatic's cooperation in the process constituted a turning point in the investigation, according to The Verge. In 2022, Tumblr and Automatic settled with the CCHR, agreeing to train human moderators in diversity and inclusion issues, hire an expert to identify potential bias in its moderation algorithms, revise its user appeal process. He calls his employees Automaticans. Does he really? This is common chat. Dell was literally the guy's like, yeah, but Dell was founded like 5 million years ago, okay? Back then, your name could be like Sir Alexander Thomas Bell, and you could just be like, yes, this is the Bell Telephone Company. We serve wires across the Philadelphia area. It's very different than like, my name's Matt. My company's going to be called Automatica in like 2015 or something, you know? Oh, holy shit. This guy's a lunatic. He really does. Automatic.com/about. We're a distributed company with 1,941 automaticians. So they could keep his name in the... Okay. Does Dell have like Dellians? Is that the name of the employees at Dell? This is insane. Insane. We strive to live by the Automatic creed. Okay, gotcha. So he's a cult leader. No wonder he had a meltdown. Obviously, this all makes sense now. Yeah, no wonder he's the type of guy to insecurely DM everyone who responds to some drama post about a banning of one person, because he does this shit, obviously. Oh my God, it all works. It all fits. Steve Jobs named the job after himself. Yeah, why do people say Jobs at Apple, huh? Because of his narcissism. Please read the creed. Yeah, okay. Let's see the creed. Hold on. The Automatic creed. I will never stop learning. I won't just work on things that are assigned to me. I know there is no such thing as a status quo. I will build our business sustainably through passionate and loyal customers. I will never pass up an opportunity. This is just standard corpo speak. Like, this is the same as like every company's like mission statement. How about a colleague? I'll remember the days before I knew everything. I am more motivated by impact than money. Love as a new employee to read this in our creed. I am motivated more by impact than money. Love to be motivated by exposure over salary. I know that open source is one of the most powerful ideas of our generation. I will communicate as much as possible because it's the oxygen of a distributed company. I am in a marathon, not a sprint, and no matter how far away the goal is, the only way to get there is by putting one foot in front of the other each day. Given time, there is no problem that's insurmountable. Nice. Just dead corpo speak. And also, you're not going to get paid. So, the Predstrogen account. The only thing they said that could be construed as a threat, which it isn't, is I hope Photomat dies forever painful death and car covered in hammers explodes more than a few times and hammers go flying everywhere. God, it's cringe to read, but that's Tumblr for you. That's the one post, right? Are there any other posts? Because this is the thing that Matt said he called the police and FBI over. How did he do that exactly? Like the local FBI branch, like, listen up, okay? I've got a hit for you. This is like Elon Musk saying that following his private jet's movements were assassination coordinates. He says multiple threats of violence, not just the one I share below, but I guess I'm curious about, what else there is. Threats of violence are never okay. Threats of violence are not protected speech. We will work with police and FBI where appropriate. Oh, though to be clear, Prestrogen's case hasn't been warranted that so far. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So if they had made a second comment about an exploding hammer car, that would have warranted the police and FBI involvement, but not yet. Okay, gotcha. Then why was she banned? Well, apparently the deleted post included literally just like the belly button piercing, right? A message from a few of the trans staff at Tumblr and Automatic. Did they go over his head for this? We believe Matt's response to this ask and his continued commentary has been unwarranted and harmful. Oh shit! The staff post on Tumblr. This is the staff, right? staff.tumblr.com. Yeah, okay. So they went over the head of Matt and posted this. Okay. Tumblr staff do not comment on moderation decisions as a matter of policy for a variety of reasons, including the privacy of those involved and the practicalities of moderating thousands of reports every day. The downside of this policy is that it's very easy for rumors and incorrect information about actions taken by our trust and safety team to spread unchecked. Given this, we want to clarify a few different pieces of the situation. The reality of Predstrigen's suspension were not accurately conveyed and made it seem like we were reaching for opportunities to ban trans feminine people on the platform. This is not the case. The example comment shared in the post linked above does not meet our definition of a realistic threat of violence and was not the deciding factor in the account suspension. Matt thereafter failed to recognize the harm to the community as a result of the suspension. Matt does not speak on behalf of the queer people who run Tumblr or Automatic. In the staff post about this, queer staff pushed to be more transparent, but were overruled by leadership. Yeah, okay. This seems like a little miniature coup. Like, I mean, imagine if like the @Twitter account or @X account or whatever on Twitter posted something directly contradictory of Elon. That's pretty wild. It looks like they're trying to salvage the reputation of the site a little bit by indicating that, like, hey, we're not all this crazy Matt CEO guy. I wonder what the like provided explanation for the ban of that account would be then, if it's not what everyone thinks it is or is being attributed to. I'm not really sure. Maybe some other weird shitpost. I have no idea. It's not unusual for Tumblr staff to communicate with users on a number of official accounts, and the relationship between the two has historically been quite open, even playful. But when Molenweg took his personal Tumblr account to address the question while on a very public sabbatical, which he has rebranded as a sabbatical. Today is the day, the first day of my sabbatical. Unlimited and infinite jihad against the Western tech community. Incomprehensible. May the light of God scour this planet clean of all life. Holy shit. It's always these people that rise to the top. They're cult leaders and they're narcissists. Your name is Matt. You have the least interesting name in the world. Why should I take a sabbatical? Ignite Talks? What is this? Is this like, you're the CEO of Tumblr and you're doing, what is this? Is even like TED Talks?
Nice. Fall Press, Pocket Cast, and since 2005 when we started, we've expanded to be over 1,900 people.
Wow, he's got a real like quiet desperation to his look, doesn't he? Holy shit. This is some like, oh, man, this guy's got like, this guy's got an edge to him.
Now in 95 countries. So from the very beginning, we have been fully distributed, which means of the Sabbath. So we created this benefit. It was inspired by a board I was on, actually. Two things. A board I
when
was
does
on,
he drop that it's called a sabbatical?
I sent out a paper to the board on basically the importance of succession planning. Interim CEO.
I want to see the point where the whiteboard says sabbatical.
You can learn. It doesn't start, here. They have like some firm organization.
I want to see the sabbatical part.
You have to. I love around this.
Does he not?
And organizational muscle.
Aw. Okay, I was kind of hoping he'd be like, I call it a sabbatical. Okay, we've already looked at all these posts. Pro really thinks he's him. Molenweg also allegedly doubled down his DMs, purportedly messaging at least one user directly about their comments in the past. Right, we saw that. Okay, are we caught up then? On February 21st, Molenweg posted a new note titled, My Beliefs and Principles. People have accused me of being transphobic, so let me lay out my beliefs so everyone understands. How did you deep fry this image? It just got screenshotted. Wait, what? Wait. Even without did you screenshot this in like a phone? Okay, whatever. I believe love is love, and consenting adults should be able to have whatever form of relationship they want or don't want. This is a great way to open your manifesto after being accused of being transphobic. I believe people should be able to change their name, gender identity, and preferred pronouns whenever they want, however many times they want. I support adults making any modification to their body they like, choosing to share or keep private, blah-de-blah. When we remodeled Automatic's New York City office before moving in, we made the bathrooms gender neutral. I have personally donated to LGBT plus organizations as far back as 2016. And have more recently donated mid 5 figures to human rights organizations. Oh my God. The Mattifesto, yeah. I don't know what else there is to really say about this. This is just genuinely psychotic behavior. We really are, like, I said this earlier, but we really are returning to like an era of aristocratic mysticism where we know that the people who rule over us are all inbred lunatics and we just have to deal with the consequences of their decisions. For a brief period of time, we entertained the delusion of meritocracy where we thought like, oh, the reason why this guy's really popular and like wealthy and stuff is because he's talented. And in reality, no, that's not how it works at all, especially not with tech companies, apparently. So in actuality, they're all psychotic. You know, I mean, even if you go back to somebody who did have some level of talent, as much as he stole from others, Steve Jobs, he was also a wacko. You know, he didn't want proper medical treatment when he had his pancreatic cancer. We were hearing about that, like, big fan of potions and herbal remedies with the king, you know, should he get sick. Radical inclusiveness is a Burning Man thing. Well, all of these tech CEOs have been to Burning Man. That's what makes them the way they are. They're deeply conservative, reactionary people. In many ways, ideologically, they're quite fascist, but they've deluded themselves into believing that they're progressive because they've done DMT and, like, some hippies bareback at Burning Man, you know? That's it, and that's the esotericism. So you have all of the innate conservatism of like massive wealth and corporate power, and then you have it kind of like juxtaposed against that weird, almost like new age hippie bullshit. And that's what makes Silicon Valley the way it is. Like, that's what makes tech guys the way they are. Is Zuck seemingly the most normal? Yes, in a lot of ways, yes, because Zuckerberg actually was a computer nerd going into all of this. That's the difference. A lot of the people who get into this tech CEO bullshit now are like weirdo, like venture capitalist guys or like hype men, you know? Like, they get in on this in this weird, at like past the point where you're getting like really into the nitty gritty of tech. So Zuckerberg, by virtue of actually being somewhat invested in the tech side of things, at least I don't know how much he is now, but he used to be, might have grounded him. Being a nerd might have grounded him. Being a real tech guy and not some like cult leader, the way this Matt dude or Steve Jobs was, grounded them, you know? That's the difference between Bill Gates and a lot of these other guys too. Bill Gates, one of the wealthiest people on earth, and a huge piece of shit, by the way, in a lot of ways. But Bill Gates was a nerd. That was the grounding element there. It kept them a little less unhinged. The other founder of Apple was all right. Yeah, Steve Wozniak, right? Steve Wozniak was heavily grounded because he was a massive nerd. Yeah. This chart works in a bunch of different... Peter Thiel is like the kingmaker of weird, esoteric, fascist, libertarian, like tech Silicon Valley bullshit. And you look at him and he is like fully in on the esotericism, right? Fully in on the like weird new world order tech hype side of everything, right? Not on the nerd side. What I'm saying basically is that when you meet a guy who's in tech in any way, shape, or form, there are two kinds of guys. There are nerds and there are hype guys. And the hype guys are the most demonic individuals you will ever meet. And the nerds are varying, but almost always better. And that's what I'm saying, basically. Which one is Jack? Jack is a lunatic. The only reason Jack didn't run Twitter more incompetently is because he was too busy, I don't know, trimming his toenails, going to Burning Man, and like, what did Jack even do? After Elon took over, Jack like defended him. He's not better than Elon, really. He's just not so insecure that he keeps trying to court the far right, you know? Jack sucks, though. Yeah, there are only two tech genders. It's true. It's true. You're forgetting project managers. Project managers are by default evil. Yeah, Mark Cuban, a lot more grounded. Yeah. I actually think this works really well. In the tech industry, this is actually a very, very, very useful distinction. The obvious one here would be Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk is the perfect example because he's all in on the hype side. Dude's not sitting in his office coding. His entire job is being like the loud, wacky science man who pumps up Twitter's share price, you know? Elon isn't a nerd, you know? He's been in on the VC side of things from the very beginning. I wasn't super skeptical of Musk back in like the earlier days, Sather. I never really liked him just because by default, I tend not to like people who are into the tech hypey kind of stuff. I'm suspicious of them, but I thought he was a smart guy up until like more attention was paid to him. Yeah, I was in on it. He wrote some code in the early days, and apparently it all had to be rewritten. Yeah, well, Elon Musk famously was the programmer behind Yandere Simulator, and you know, people have tried to fix it, but he's really insistent on keeping a hold on that project. I'd believe it. Oh, I would fully believe it. That's totally in line. You know, that's very him. I thought he made Goat Simulator. No, Goat Simulator was made competently. Man, I am Serbian project manager. I know you think I am evil. Victor Tunic. I do. Good luck. I'm sorry. Sorry. I love you. I'm sorry. I'm sure you do great work. Remember that leaked call of him not knowing basic questions about Twitter's tech? Yeah. He doesn't know anything about it. We love our Serbian project managers here, don't we, folks? Nah, that's an actual work, incompetent but still work. Musk wants to brag about thing he bought. Yeah, no, Musk is actually like chewing the wires at Twitter HQ. You know, like a Twitter executive walks in to see him coding. He's like, whew, wish there was an easier way to do this. And he's like spitefully banning people by updating a list that contains every Twitter account, and he's updating the list manually. Like he's on line like 62,843,712, and he's like updating it to like account equals not banned, and he's like he's hitting compile and waiting a few minutes there with his arms folded. You know, like I don't trust anyone who works with computers and isn't a Luddite. Yeah. Yeah, what's that like? The difference between fake tech guys and real tech guys is that fake tech guys tell you how in 1 year AI will like wash your dick in the shower for you, and real tech guys own only two pieces of technology: a printer and a gun to shoot the printer with. It makes a noise they don't recognize. It's real and true, yeah.